Hello everybody, that Runner Matt here, and welcome to the Snowdon Marathon Race Weekend vlog. So just a little bit of a intro here. As you can tell, I'm a little bit ill. I am doing this intro after Snowdon, and I've managed to pick something up, which is wonderful. But yes, not during the race, so can't complain about that. Anyway, yeah, it's just going to be a long form sort of video of the entire weekend, going from Thursday driving up and Friday's shakeout run to the race on Saturday, and then a little something extra on the Sunday that a few people already know about, especially those that follow me on Strava, that I'm a little bit crazy, but you will see that soon enough. So yeah, with that, let's get right into the drive to Wales on the Thursday. So, as I said, here we are with the drive up to Wales. We've got just a few little highlights of the drive up. Got a strange little building here going on in Birmingham. I didn't have a chance to look it up, what was going on there. So, we will have to potentially look it up in post. But if anyone knows what that is, then feel free to enlighten me. After about halfway there, we got to Shrewsbury, which, if you do recall, in a older parkrun video, is where John Attio lives, who is a former Whitney Road runner. So we stopped by his for about an hour or so, just to have a little catch up and chat. Had a little pan of his room, of showing what's going on of his previous races, and a couple of photos of him from right back in the day of when he raced Snowdon. I think he said it was 2006, right back in the day when he was running for a different club. And then after leaving John's, you could truly tell that we were getting into Welsh territory. The mountains were becoming a lot more prominent, a lot taller, a lot of climbing and descending on the roads that we were actually driving on, until, of course, we actually reached Llanberis and finally found our accommodation. The weather was looking fantastic on the day up, as well as the forecast for the rest of the weekend. So we were very much hoping that it would stay that way, but it being North Wales, we really weren't sure whether it would stay as predicted or it would become a normal North Welsh weekend with a lot of rain. After finding our accommodation, we had a quick chat with a gentleman across the road with the spaniel, as you can see here. He's also racing Snowdon, so it was nice to have a brief chat with him about the race. Now back to past that with plans for the race on the Thursday evening. Right, good afternoon, evening, I guess. 20 past 5. It is Thursday afternoon. Just walking past the tent. It's just through there. They're still doing the last bit of setting up to get everything ready for number pickup tomorrow, and indeed on Saturday morning if you are that way inclined. So parked up at the hotel. Well, not a hotel. It's like a booking.com thing I've got. And yeah, we've just gone for a walk. We were going to go to Spa first, but then we thought, you know what, let's just get going. And parents are back there somewhere. There they are, blissful ignorance. Dad taking a photo, Mum wishing she had a camera with her. But I mean, to be fair, it is rather, idyllic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's pretty nice, to say the least. It is pretty. I will probably avoid the not the woman, but the grassy area there, because I mean even this bit's quite bouncy. I don't want to be you know, hurting myself going on the grassy bit, ending up twisting an ankle or something. Because knowing me, that's exactly what I'd do. And yeah, just sort of taking it in a lot more relaxed approach than what happened 2 years ago. Obviously that was before I started recording and stuff like that. Came with Kirsty and her parents. We came down on the Friday. We had because we had the dogs with us, we had to find a dog friendly place, and the nearest one was about half an hour away. So we drove in on the morning, not all the way to Snowdon, but we stopped at this place on Friday night. Drove in the afternoon to get our numbers, and then just came straight down and in on the Saturday to do the race, and then we finished, and then we went straight back to the place. You know, we didn't really hang around in Llanberis that much. You know, we've got a little club dinner that we do as well. That Kirsty wasn't really. You know, we had a mum with us, and it wasn't really gonna work out with her and her mum and the dogs and all that all coming. You know, trying to get into either a cracked hotel or even a small little pub with them. So, you know, Kirsty was down to run this year, but just hasn't had the time to get the training in, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to see her get round, but yeah, we are here with plenty of other Whitney Road runners. I believe there's 22 down to run the course, so we will see how we all get on. Hopefully I will be leading the charge, and we'll just sort of have to. I'm going all in. This is sort of the, you know, autumn marathon target. So I mean, it's actually the first time I've targeted 2 marathons in a year, having had London in April. You know, that was the big one. That was the sub 2:30. I haven't gone sort of like all in with the training this time round, to be perfectly honest, but I still feel like I've done enough to get me round in a reasonable sort of time. So yeah, we'll have a little shakeout run tomorrow and see how we get on. And now it was time to carbo load. On the Thursday evening I had, as you can see, fish and chips. Not necessarily the healthiest choice, but you know, it's carbs all the same. And then a few extra chips that we found at the spa that were on reduced. Also had garlic bread and some bagels on the Wednesday. I think I just sort of carbo loaded a little bit earlier. There was some reduced stuff at work, so I thought, why not get the carbs in early, and I think it worked out pretty well. And then that moved us on to Friday. Had a little walk down to the start of where I wanted to do the shakeout run. I didn't want to start directly from the house, as you can see here. It is a little bit of a downhill to get out of the building. So I decided to go down to ground level, I guess, you know, a flat bit, to start the run on the Friday morning. Right, good morning everyone. Friday morning. We are looking at just coming up to 10:30. So we are going for a little shakeout, and the weather is pretty good at the moment. We're a little bit windy, but wouldn't expect anything less. But yeah, it's quite warm. Looking at 14-15 degrees at the moment. So yeah, just going out for an easy 5k. I'm going to do a section with the camera in the hat, just to check it's working. Or, I mean, I fully trust Keith with the camera that he's let me borrow. And then yeah, so after the 5k, I'm going to get some strides in, just to stretch the legs out, get them moving and grooving, and then I'll go and pick up my number, which I'm pretty sure it's already open. If it's not, it will be by the time I've finished. And I hope I can get it straight away, because I hope I can get my number without needing any confirmation that it's me. I'm gonna rock up in my running kit and I know who I am, so hopefully they do too. So I'm just going out up towards the start. Just trying to remember if the clock comes all the way up to the start, which I think it does, and then maybe a little bit further on to get a little shot of the start, which I'm sure I'll get tomorrow. But might as well go and have a look now. Get a tiny bit of hill climbing in, because coming out of the place we're staying could well have gone left and sort of gone in the direction of the lake, which is like pretty much pan flat as far as I can tell, or come out this way, get that tiny bit of hill work in, nothing too much, this is nice, and despite what my watch says, I'm at about 165 heart rate, I can still talk, so just getting those getting those pre-race nerves out of the way as much as I can. So yeah, getting a tiny bit of hill work in, and I mean, either way I go, I can just appreciate the views. I mean, look at that. I mean, appreciate them while I still can, because it could be garbage tomorrow. Still looking all right. A little bit worse than it looked yesterday, but apart from that, I think we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Got a very small niggle on the inside of my right foot. It's an ongoing thing. I think I've mentioned it before. I let Jamie have a little fiddle around with it on Monday, so hopefully it'll be fine once we get going. It feels fine now. This is what that first sort of 400-500 meters where it's like I don't quite know what the problem is with it. It feels like it's like a lack of blood flow to the area. Like I sort of, if I've been laying down and I get up, it just does feel a bit strange, not like it's gone dead, but just kind of like there's not enough blood going there really. Right hamstrings pretty much all the way sorted as far as I can tell. I mean, I woke up a few times last night, but I think I got about 8 hours 15, maybe 8.5 hours of sleep, so pretty happy with that. Same again tonight, and I need to remember it's a 10:30 start, because for some reason I had it in my head that it was an 11 o'clock start, but yes, it is 10:30, so probably get up at about 8 o'clock and have breakfast at about 8:30, and then I think I'm pretty much bang on the start line now. You can see the sign back there for Lamberris, and I'm pretty sure the start is somewhere around here. I mean, the last time I came out in this direction for a shakeout was 2018, and it was hailing. So I've got it a bit better than I had it last time. Yeah, it's definitely around here somewhere. I remember sort of hanging around by the 60, sort of the national speed limit sign back there with Kirsty 2 years ago. So It's definitely around here somewhere. Maybe it's this pole and this line here. I haven't got a clue, to be perfectly honest. I know it's roughly around here, but yeah, it's pretty quiet for a Friday. I mean, I'm so used to, because of work, I'm so used to Fridays being uber busy. It's just nice to get out, only have to worry about the run that I'm in, and try my best to keep it nice and chilled for the rest of the day. I mean, I can have a talk now whilst I've got the chance, really, as long as you can hear me, because it is quite windy. So, as you can see here, we've got a lot of going on over here. So what they're mining here is slate. Well, mostly slate, and that's what we get at the end of the run. Not quite sure how you get to that. Carefully. Yeah, so they mine slate, and then we have slate as the end of race memento. Also, I've got 2 of those now. I can't quite remember where I've put them, but they're certainly about. And well, the wind's picking up a little bit, as I'm sure you can tell, if any of this is even audible. Well, I mean, as I said, I'm just putting the camera in to check out how she works, because yeah, my old one was having all sorts of problems. Right, got up to 1.6 miles, just stopped before that downhill. Don't want to be going down there and coming back up. Just give it a couple of minutes just to have a breather, have a little bit of a shakeout, blow the nose, and yeah, just sort of taking the surroundings while I can, really, because it's going to be we're going to be locked in tomorrow, absolutely locked in. And there is actually a castle there in the distance there. No buttons I can press to actually zoom in from here, but I'm sure you can see that, as long as we're mounted in the right sort of orientation, which I think we should be. Let's have a look on the. Obviously I've still got the camera with me, so I can just. You probably maybe just might be about to be able to see that. It's past that tree there on the right. It's right in the distance. Well, not right in the distance. It's quite big, but it's a bit far away for me to be running up to right now. And let's just do a bit of inception. This is me looking at the camera, holding the camera, looking at the camera, holding the camera. We do have fun. Alright, just had a little 2-minute break, which I'm sure won't be any detriment, just to have a little bit of activation work and just to check if the camera is working. I put it in back in the pod, which it's in now, and we seem to be all good to go with it outside the pod. Obviously it was quite windy. I did try to listen to myself. It was quite windy, so extra work for me. Put some subtitles in, but I don't mind. This is going to be sort of like the big comeback for the channel. Get me going again, because I've got plenty of time off when I get back. So I will get it done before I go, hopefully before I go back to work on a Thursday, and at the very least by the following week. And yeah, we'll just sort of crack on back to base and get some strides in, as I said, and then yeah, I'll stick it back in the hat, and we can record picking up my number, and then we can go back home, get all my stretches in, find any niggles, and then get the massage gun on it, and then hang around for a bit until we meet with a few club members later in the Padan, I believe we're going to just have a little catch up, and I will distribute my drinks and gels to the relevant people there. So we will be all ready to go for tomorrow. So I probably should mention the other two times I've been here. So was meant to come in 23 last year, but about 3, I'm not sure if I actually said this in the Abingdon video, I probably didn't because it wasn't really relevant, but I finished Abingdon and about 4 hours later, sitting at home, just trying not to cramp up essentially, and got a phone call, and the guy that was hosting the Airbnb said it had flooded. So along with a few other things, because Kirsty wasn't planning on doing it last year due to lack of training, and then I was going to be pacing someone else and they pulled out, so I think that was sort of the final nail in the coffin. It was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess you really don't want me to go, you know, Snowdon gods. So I unfortunately didn't get around last year. 22 was when I went with Kirsty, got round in about 5 hours 20, and I probably should make a long overdue apology to her in that I set her off way too quick. I sort of overestimated the fitness levels. I think the first mile was like 8:30, and yeah, that very quickly turned into sort of a walk-run situation for most of the rest of the course. And then yeah, we'd have to go back to 2018 as we head back into Llanberis or Morbegno. I don't know, unless that means twin with Morbegno. Morbegno, yeah, Morbegno, Italy. There you go. Twin with Morbegno in Italy. So more you know. Yeah, and that was my first marathon. So in 22 I had the whole pack with me because I was running with Kirsty, you know, I had all the gels and sort of everything, near enough everything I needed with me for the day. But 2018 it was my first marathon. I'd entered the ballot for London and didn't get in. So I was like, you know what? I can't enter the biggest marathon. I'll do a marathon where I should PB the next time I do one. So I picked Snowdon, and in 2018 Snowdon wasn't a ballot. I don't think it was in 22, I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure 23 was, and this year was a ballot as well. But if you don't get in, there's a high chance that you can get someone else's place eventually. A long old waiting list, and a lot of people will, for one reason or another, have to pull out. But anyway, back to my point. 2018 was my first. Oh sorry, there's the castle. Hang on, let's just stop a second. There's my heart rate's way too high. There's the castle I was on about. I didn't think it was that close. Well, there you go, and there's the footpath, which I'm sure will probably take you in that direction, but we won't go that way. If I wasn't doing the marathon tomorrow, I definitely would. I'd definitely be up. Oh bloody hell! I'd definitely be up for a bit more exploration. But yeah, play it safe, as Andy said. Andy Fodrunner, that is. Control the controllables. So going off road, probably not the smartest decision. I mean, there is a bit of off road tomorrow, so just got to be aware of it, really. But anyway, yeah, 2018, it was my first marathon, so I just sort of ran to finish it. And I think that lack of pressure, that lack of needing or indeed wanting a finish time of XYZ really did help. I just had gels and drinks that were on the course, had a couple of Lucasades, I think, from Dad at about halfway, and that was it really, and that got me around in 3 hours 12. and that was 50th, I believe. It was like it was a different position on the chip and on the gun, which was always confusing. But we'll just split the difference and say I was 50th. But you can definitely tell the quality's going up, because that time that I ran 3:12, that would have put me 64th last year. So it kind of just shows where the quality's, you know, the quality's certainly going up, or maybe it was just an incredible year to actually run. But who knows what time, you know, I'm hoping to around 2:45, 2:50, especially with the conditions as they are. 2:45 should be on the cards, and with any luck that'll get me top 10, and with a lot of luck it'll get me top 5. There is one guy that I know, Michael Kallenberg, who I said this in my sort of lead up video. He was at Alchester 5k, and so he was, you know, he's done this marathon before and he's finished second, so he knows what he's doing. So he's here. But sort of looking down the list, I didn't recognise any names from last year, or certainly any like clubs anyway. But that doesn't mean anything. You know, there's going to be about 3,000 people running, so you know, anyone could show up, and anyone could just, you know, rock up and run like a sub 220 or something. Who knows? But just gotta wait till tomorrow to find out. Right, it's just over 5k done. 5k plus 100 meters. Flip that over so I can see myself. There we go. Just take another 2 minutes. You know, no need to rush. No need to rush into anything. And then we'll just use this bit of road here. Get some strides in. Probably do 4 times 30 seconds. Do 2 at marathon pace, and then we'll pick it up just a little bit for the second 2. Do a half marathon pace and then a 10k pace, something like that. You know, that's the joys of tapering. You just don't really know what to do. You know, not having an actual coach, you just sort of wing it a little bit, which is fun. I probably should start down this end, just so I've got when I do the 4th one, I finish at this end and I don't have to walk back up. So let's just get the recovery heart rate up, just so I know when it's been 2 minutes. And the heart rate is back down rather quickly, despite it going up rather quickly. So maybe that'll be a tactic for tomorrow. Actually bomb it up the first hill and then stop. Because of how quickly my heart rate comes down. Unless I'm having some sort of muscular thing, or like, you know, every now and again my hip just feels a bit strange. If it's not quite right by the top of Kenny Pass, it gives me an opportunity to stop and have a drink as well. So it's a tough marathon. You know, you've really got to pace yourself. You know, obviously it's a marathon, you've got to pace yourself anyway, but especially with Snowdon, it's so unforgiving. It's just, you know, it'll eat you up and it will spit you the hell out if you don't get it right, or if not necessarily you, but if the weather's against you. I mean, even now it's starting to look a little bit grey. I think I got 1 or 2 raindrops on me on the way out, but yeah, I think that'll just about do it. We are 2 minutes done, so we'll get some strides in, and then hopefully we won't need any additional information to pick up our number. There we go, 2 minutes of running, 0.4 miles, and for the mathematicians there, 5 minute miling. A little bit quick on those second 2, but you know, just get a little bit of those nerves out. Just test the hamstring on that slightly faster pace, which I'm going to need to do downhill anyway. And yeah, let's go grab a number. And then it was time to get our number. Just passing the doggo there. Not sure if that woman was running on the race day, but didn't have a chance to stop her. I thought I'd let her carry on. And then, yeah, I rocked up and found out that I was a little bit early. They didn't open until 12 o'clock on that day, and it was still only, I think, about 11, quarter past 11. So I had a little chat with the woman on the door, and they said, yeah, sure, come in, why not? It's one less person to deal with later in the day. So yeah, that was very kind of her. So picked up my number. So I assumed I was the first one to pick it up, and then yeah, just had a little look round the little expo that they had going. Saw the pin badges there, and I thought, oh well, yes, I do love a pin badge. I will come back later because I didn't have any payment method on me. And then yeah, had a look at all the shoes and shirts and shorts that, you know, unless you're buying it for a different occasion, you probably shouldn't be wearing on race day, because as the saying goes, nothing new on race day. But don't get me wrong, there was some nice kit there. It was like a blue, the Ron Hill stuff, the blue shirts and shorts. I do love a good blue shirt or a blue pair of shorts. I did certainly look at them for a little bit and considered them, but my drawer is full to bursting as it is. So yeah, nothing purchased at that time. As I said, didn't have my card on me, but I did come back later in the day to pick up some pin badges. Well, so as you saw there, registration didn't open until midday, but they already had the numbers out. It was quite quiet. So let's do it that way so you can see the number there, 2111. Obviously it's going to be a bit late for you to track me, but maybe I'll stick it on Facebook on the club page. Yeah, I think I might be the first person to get my number. They said, you know, you didn't need any, as long as you knew what number you were, which I do. Then yeah, we're all good to go. I did have a bit of confusion earlier in the week, because me and I don't know what my mum was actually looking at, but she had like a completely different tracking list with completely different numbers on them. And on that one I was like 684. So, but they had this was on the official one that I got in the email. So, I mean, and it's got my name on it. So we're gonna go with it. And yeah, so potentially first person to pick up their number. Does that mean anything? Is that written in the stars for tomorrow? Don't be silly. But you know, it's a nice sort of sign, you know. First to pick up the number, first to finish. Who knows? Yeah, some of those Ron Hill shirts looks rather nice. Slightly different colourways from the ones I've already got. I know I've got plenty of running shirts and shorts, but nothing wrong with another one. Oh, sorry, there's toilets there. That is good to know. Although I mean, it's hardly far from where we're staying, but it's an extra set of toilets, which might be all you need. So yeah, let's get back and do some stretches, and then we'll probably shoot back out later to get some merch and see some of the club. Look at that, beautiful. Hopefully stays like that tomorrow. And that's where I was showing you earlier. A lot of power lines, which probably, if I just waddle over here, and I mean obviously we're only on, can I change this to 2 times zoom, excuse me, hold to zoom, here we go, ooh, there we go, 2 times zoom, so I'm going to turn that round, and you can see those houses all the way up there. I mean, God knows how far away those are, but they are, you know, they're what, good 20-30 meters higher up than we are. Oh, let's turn that back down to 1. There we go, not so zoomed in on my face. Yeah, so they are right up there. I mean, it's such a beautiful part of the world. Yeah, no more procrastinating, let's go and get some stretches done.
So after doing stretches, it was time to have a bit of lunch. Best thing I could find at the spa that could get me some carbs and wouldn't make me feel too full at the same time. And of course my own bars as well there. And then just a little bit of time spent with the club at the pub. A bit more interested in the dogs than interacting with people a little bit. Just wanted to keep it nice and chilled. And, I even had my shoes off for most of the evening because I just didn't want to, have my feet feel like swollen and stuff. But, seemed to work out. And then I went back to the expo and got the pin badges I wanted and had a selfie and a couple of photos taken of me with the trophy.
Right, it is rather dark, so I don't think you can quite see me, but just wanted to give a little shout out to what's the channel called? A Little Bit of Adventure Time, I believe was the channel name. I'll put it here. Just went to the expo again, just to get some pin badges, which I wanted to do the first time round, but I didn't have me card with me. Had a little look around, got the pin badges, and there he was outside with his bike. Turns out he'd got the train to Bangor and then cycled from Bangor all the way here. So shout out to him. He's certainly tapering, I guess. And best of luck to him tomorrow. Right, just a quick flat lay before we go to bed. We've got the Hydroform hat. It's taken a little bit of a knock, but it is probably my favourite hat that I've got to house the camera clip and, of course, the Instago 360 3S, graciously donated by Keith so that I can borrow. Got the sunglasses if I need them. 4 gels. Of course, the Whitney Roadrunners top, representing the club. 2111. Garmin drink. The classic pink night shorts. Can't miss them. Going for the thin socks, just to keep it as thin as possible, keep it as light as possible. And we are going with the Alpha Flies. And if we look on the bottom here, they have taken, a little bit of a light damage, but I think that will be good for the last section of the course. So I will see you all tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Here we are on race day in what is turning out to be a wonderful morning. Looking at about 10-11 degrees at the moment and a touch windy, but absolutely zero rain. Absolutely buzzing off of that. Obviously we've still got another 3 hours till we finish, so who knows, could be a nasty finish, but you just don't know until we get going. So currently having a jog up to the start. You might notice this from yesterday. It's exactly where I went. Just a little bit, just a few more people, and the main reason I'm coming up here now, so I've got to take these off, is because there's portaloos up here. There's a loo stop back there, which is where everyone goes, but then there's a couple of sets of portaloos up here. So it's currently 10 to 10, so hopefully within the next 10-15 minutes I will need to get my last get to race weight and then we'll be ready to go. There is a bit of a queue for the toilets already up here, but what I'm going to do, because I'm only at 0.3 of a mile, I'm going to go a bit further down. I don't think there's any more toilets past these 3, but I'll go a bit further down and then I'll sort of do some activations on the way back to these loos if there's not any further down.
So as we get a nice shot of the starting line before it fully gets set up, we move into our activations here. Just thought I'd get a little shot of that before we set off, as the camera was in the case, so it still had its full charge at this point. Just the usual sort of general activations that I do before any race, and didn't want to overdo it, obviously, because the one thing I want to do is swing the legs too high and then pull my hamstring 20 minutes before a marathon. So yeah, we kept it chilled, but we wanted to make sure we got it done properly at the same time.
I even managed a small cameo on the S4C channel.
Rhythm, a rash.
There I am, Gary, there I am!
And then with that we had a little opening song from, I believe she is an actress of some description, a young actress. So yeah, she did, I think it's the Welsh, it might be the Welsh National Anthem, I can't quite remember. So we had that, and then the race was ready to go.
This will be a highlights video of the race. If you want to watch the full race video, it is already on the channel, and I'll also link it in the description. And with that, let's get right into it.
Oh god, there's plenty of us around the course, so I think I only bought these last week, so it's only £6.
ger gweitha collective y ras yma, fel ni gallu gweld, mae'r rhedwyr wrth I bodd a chroesi'r llun.
Go on, Headington! Go on, Si! Yes, now, Simon! Go on, Rachel! Go on, Bertie! Let's go, Bertie! Yeah! Go on, Bertie! Go on, Will! Go on, Sprackers! Go on, Sal! Go on, Sally! Go on, Susanna! Go on! Go on, Phil! Go on, Phil! Go, Helen! Woo! Go, Helen! Go, Rich! Go, Richard! Yeah! Go, Frizzle! Go, Fraze! Go on, Hoppy! Go on, Steve! Let's go, Steve! Yeah! Yes, now, Colin! Let's go, Colin! Yeah! Go on, Chris! Oh, God. That's ninth. Go on, Chris. Hit him, mate. Let's go, Team Whitney! Go on, Toby! Go on, Tony! Let's go! Go on, Nicola! Go on, Nikki! Yeah, let's go!
I didn't see the Adventure Time there.
Go on, the Rhino! Yeah! Go on, the Rhino! Go on, James! Go on, James, let's go! Yeah! Go on, James! Let's go, Ian! Yeah! Woo! Go, Ian! Go on, Matt! Yeah, let's go!
Well, that is the race done and dusted. And yeah, we are. What's the time now? Try and reach for my watch. It's coming up to 6 o'clock. Obviously, that's the wrong way round, but I'm sure you can see that it's coming up to 6 o'clock. So we are. Let's try and do some maths. 4.5 hours done from the race. For 2 hours 47 minutes and change, and not long had a shower because the weather was good enough to hang around and just to cheer in as many Whitneys as we could. And yeah, I mean, the weather in general was just perfect. It's not been that good the other 2 times I've been up here, and yeah, it just made for perfect running. Obviously, the last downhill was treacherous, as I'm sure you'll see in the end race footage. I was a bit annoyed. The camera ran out with about half a mile to go, but I'll have the official camera roll for it. If it's not on TV, maybe I'll pop them a message. You'll have already seen whether I got the footage or not from them. So yeah, we'll just pop straight into the sort of general post-race thoughts for it. I was going to do immediate, but as I said, yeah, it was very loud, and I just wanted to get my head on straight before having a proper chat. Yeah, so started off, and the heart rate just shot through the roof by mile 3, coming up towards Penny Pass, which I sort of expected. I probably haven't done quite as much hill specific training as I should, but you know, I've just sort of done, you know, I'm more generally conditioned. I wasn't like specifically
conditioned for today. So I just sort of, took it in my stride to, not overdo it on the first climb, or indeed on the second climb. Just sort of more grind it out than give it a full beans and pay for it later in the day. Top of Penny Pass, saw the Whitneys, and as you will have seen, one of the, I can't remember what club he was, which is really bad. Maybe I'll stick it here with the results. He ended up, he took one of the gels from John, and that was quite funny. So it was a good job that John had 2 on him, and then I had that Lucas aid, and then a few of them cracked on the downhill. I was having a bit of an issue, not a twang, but it was just feeling a bit not dead. I'm really not sure what the problem is with it. In the right hamstring, it was in the lower right hamstring at the time. Just trying to stride out on the downhill, just wasn't playing ball. So I just took the opportunity to let the heart rate come back down, get some liquid in, and then try and catch up with it with a group by the end of the rocky traily bit, going up through to about 8 or 9 miles, which I did. I didn't end up really with anyone in particular until about 13 when I got to Beth Gellert, which I'd probably say is Snowdon's answer to Tower Bridge in London. That was it was pretty loud through there, and I as I'm sure you have already seen, I got the crowd going, cheering them up a little bit of fun, trying to keep the vibes up, both for the crowd and for myself. I feel like if you're having a good time, then it certainly can help with performance, instead of just head down and grinding it out. If you're interacting a little bit, having a bit of a banter, having a bit of a chat, obviously not too much, because otherwise it will be detrimental at a point, but I think a little bit can certainly be beneficial. And then out of Beth Gellert onto the second big climb, overtook a couple of more people there, and then we got to about 16. Obviously 15 I took the gel from Mr. Hopkins, which worked out rather nicely, and then I think at some point between 16 and 17 caught up with Mike Roderick, who had absolutely shot off. I think he was with the front group for about the first mile. I think he wanted to get some TV time, so fair play to him for that. Caught up to him about 17 to 18. I think he held on to myself, the guy that took the gel in the end. I ended up catching back up, which was quite nice. And the older gentleman in red, he stuck with us for about a mile, and then we got to where was it? It was not long after I took the gel from Dad at 18 and a half, something like that. And he was, I didn't look back. I didn't really want to see how close he was. And I think I ended up taking about 20 minutes out of him in the end. He did about 3 hours 8 or 9. So, fair play to him. He went out hard, and he did pay the price, but sometimes you've got to give it a go. And then I caught up to the second Pontypridd runner, who I did have a brief, I don't know if I caught any of it on the camera, but I did have a brief chat with him before the start of the race, and he said he ran 2:33 in London, so I'm like, okay, I ran 2:29, so I'll keep an eye on him. I can't remember if he'd actually done Snowdon before, but I was kind of like, well, I'm going to let him go, and then I'm hoping to catch him back up later on in the race, and then I did. I'm not sure if I got the pass on camera at all. I think it was just before 21, just before we started that last big climb. I can't remember what the little village is called, but that last big climb, which I got quite a lot of. Not sure if I got all of it. No, I think I missed. Excuse me. I think I just missed out the last half a mile, which was annoying, but it was sort of from 25 to 26. It was pretty much the same story. Like the first half mile was the same as the second half, just ow, 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 my quads are on fire because it's dangerously steep. You know, you can't stride out. You're just taking, you know, I don't know. I haven't had a look, but I might pop up what cadence I got up to. It felt like I was probably in excess of maybe 210 because you're just trying to make sure you don't end up on your ass. And I'm quite surprised I didn't. There was one bit on the rocks which I think I got on camera of me nearly falling over, and that was on the uphill. I thought it was going to be the downhill that took me out. And while there were a couple of muddier bits, it's as I said, along with the general conditions, it's probably the best that last 2 downhill miles has ever looked. Potentially, it's looked better because I was at the front. It's not been churned up as much, but there was no rain all day, not until about maybe 3:30, and even then it was quite light. So I think we got away with it today to an extent. We got lucky with the conditions, but at the same time, everyone's running in the same conditions. So you just take what you get on the day. And then got to that last half mile, came round through to the finish. And as I said, I'll hopefully, if they don't put it on the TV and I can record the TV, I might send them a message and get the footage of me crossing the line, providing it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. And the guy said I looked fresh, and I did feel, apart from the quads, I did feel pretty fresh. And it's sort of in the same vein as I recall from 2018, in that I got to the end, and while obviously I've done a marathon, bits hurt, I'm not flat out on the floor, dead to the world. I have no idea where I am. I think I had more gels today than I had at London, because I had one before the start, which I can't remember if I did at London. I'm pretty sure I did. But on the route, I think I had 4. And at London, I think I only had 3. So maybe that helps. I mean, any sugary thing after the race tasted like absolute garbage, but it was worth it. You know, I overtook that one guy on the last big climb, who again I might have got it on the camera, I might not. And then I overtook the one guy on the final down, which actually brought me from 11th to 9th. So I got the top 10 that I was hoping for. But the field was absolutely stacked today. I was having a chat with Mike Callenberg, who was running. He has finished second here before, and the names that he was bringing out, he knew Andy Davis, who actually did win, and I think he was only about 20 seconds off the race record. I think he broke the course record today, but not the race record because it was on an older course. And then a few of the other names. The other names that he said to me, I don't remember seeing any. Not in front of me anyway on the results sheet. But even so, I think because it was the 40th anniversary, it did bring out a higher caliber of athlete. And to say I finished 9th in that time, maybe I'll have a look at the other years and see where that time would have got me in other years. I don't think that time would ever have been a winning time, but I think Mike. I'm going to bring up Mike again because I just remember I'm pretty sure he ran 2:49 last year, and that put him 9th. So I was 2 minutes quicker, and I got the same position. So that just sort of goes to show where they were at that top end. So yeah, I think that is just about it. I guess the only thing I can sort of say is it went well in the digestion area. I didn't need to go to stop, unlike at London. I'm not quite sure. I didn't feel like I did anything terribly different. I tried to limit fibre a little bit going in the last couple of days, and maybe potentially because where I'm staying is only 20 minutes down the road, I managed to, get clear before we set off. And then there was the set of Portaloos light just by the start, and I managed to get there. in enough time to have one last, check up that everything was out, that I'd got to race weight. So yeah, potentially something to look at in the future. Potentially I might add some gels with like electrolytes or like the nootropics ones. But it might be something to experiment with in the future and see how they go. I have in the past done the ones with caffeine. I think it's more the fact that all the flavors just sound horrid. Like all the regular cis gel flavors, the fruit salad, the pineapple, the tropical, they're nice, but all the other flavors just don't sound that great. So maybe I'll start looking into a different brand. Who knows? But for now, cis is working. But maybe I might need to experiment to get those faster times next time I do a marathon. So yeah, I think that's I have rambled for quite long enough now. We've got that's been about 10 minutes. We've got a little like club get together dinner. It's going down there at 7:00 to eat at 7:30. So I'm probably going to get a little bit of a snack in before we go, because I haven't really eaten that much since I finished. Although the stomach's felt fine, I just tried to, be careful, because I don't want to feel horrid, for the rest of the evening, just because I have eaten too much before going out. So yeah, I think I can't seem to think of anything else right now, but if I do, I might just pop it in. And yeah, I'll probably bring some camel with me to the dinner, and let's go get some food.
And then we went down for dinner. Second to last ones there, which is classic us. As you can see here, classic taking photos of food. Calamari rings to start, and then I had peri peri chicken with 2 pieces of own recipe chicken, but they came first on their own. I thought it was all going to come together. Anyway, then I had the fudge brownie for dessert. Wasn't the best, to be honest, but needed the calories. And then, as you can see here, went up for the Snowdon Trophy, which is for the first male and female club runner at Snowdon Marathon. Had a great little evening out, and then we moved on to the madness of Sunday. As you can tell, it's a little bit windy. Why is it windy, you may ask? Because this idiot is coming up from down there and going up there, going up to Summit Snowdon, because, well, to be honest, the weather is still fantastic. It's not supposed to rain until like 4 o'clock this afternoon, so just got to be very careful on the rocks. Got another, how many have we got there? Another 9 Whitneys coming up with us, so 10 including me, and just one other complete idiot in Tony, who also did the marathon yesterday. So we're the we're the 2 nutcases, and the rest have done plenty of mileage themselves yesterday anyway, through cheerleading and just walking around in general. So we've all done our fair share, to say the least. And yeah, I've already done a few like panorama shots. I think we're about, well, I'm on 2.25 miles, but that is from
from my house, from where we're staying, and apparently it's 4.5 from the train station to the top. Oh, you can see the train. You can see the tracks there. Yeah, so I think we're not far off halfway to the top. Got plenty of food and drink with me, but there is a cafe at the top as well, so I'll treat myself to something nice, because you know I ran a marathon yesterday, so probably should be allowed to eat what I want for a couple of days. Yeah, and if you can't tell, I'm getting a bit out of breath because it's actually it's a bit steep to say the least. But yeah, gonna crack on, and yeah, I'll do a few more panorama shots, and then we'll see you at the top. Is the train going up, and I don't know if you saw me pointing or the people waving. That was Angie and David, who are Gareth Petts' parents. Gareth loves this race, absolutely loves it. He's been the first Whitney in multiple years in a row. I think this is actually the first time since 2018 that he hasn't been the first Whitney in. I mean, he couldn't have been because he didn't run yesterday anyway, but I think he's finished as high as 5th at this race, so you know, he's a proper loves his marathons, loves his tough running. He did the Race to the Stones 100k earlier this year, and yeah, his parents have taken the easier option today, to say the least. So, as we started to get past the halfway point of the climbing, we went through what was essentially a wind tunnel. So basically the train went over the top, and where they built this sort of bridge to get it into, it made it nearly impossible to get through at some points because it was just that's where all the wind was going. Yeah, it got a lot rockier and sort of, you know, just generally more difficult to climb. And as I say so here myself, and they said this was the easy path. And despite it being the easiest route, it did get a lot tougher later on in the day. The winds decided to go up to about 60 miles an hour in the end, which was not great fun, not just for myself and the other Whitney Roadrunners trying to get up that day, and the other you know, tourists and people that wanted to summit the mountain, but for the employees of the cafe that were at the top, because they decided to keep it closed. Well, not keep it closed, but they decided to close it about
a minute before I got to the top. So I desperately needed a wee, and I had to. Well, I just had to hold it in, which was fun. But yeah, that was not a little bit annoying to say the least. But as you have also seen, there was also quite a queue to get to the top of the mountain, and I sort of thought, well, as I'm here, despite it being very, very windy, I should at least say I got to the top. And from about the sort of from that sort of wind tunnel area, really, I couldn't really feel my hands. I had 2 pairs of gloves on, and maybe it was because I had 2 pairs of gloves on, I thought I couldn't feel my hands, but I just felt like I couldn't. So instead of trying to take my gloves off and get my phone out and take a photo, I just pressed record on the camera and sort of hoped that I got a decent shot of me at the top of the mountain, which I did in the end, which was quite lucky. And then, yeah, it was a very snap decision to get my ass back down the mountain as quickly as possible. But hopefully I've got a decent shot there. Played into the top. Now I've just got to try and get back down. Getting down the mountain consisted mostly of this. I'm gonna go. I've just been up Snowdon summit, but I'm not in any fit state to be going up there. I am rather cold, and the wind is just non-stop. So I've had to leave the other windy guys. I did crack on in the first place just because it was getting cold. Managed to get to the top with Dave, and he turned around and teed up with me to the top. Hopefully that came through right as we get to the summit. And yeah, the other windies are queuing, so they'll do another 10 minutes. So we can wait quite a bit further down and find somewhere. Probably 100 left on my 100 back yesterday.
But finally, after a long climb down, it might have even taken longer than the way up, I'm not quite sure. It certainly felt like it because I was absolutely spent. We made it back to terra firma, and we could finally, not necessarily relax, but just try and get the legs back into recovery mode. And then have a wonderful curry with Lee, John, Kate and Becky. And then after the curry, we watched the highlights where, as you've already seen, I managed to make it on the TV twice, and quite a lot of other Whitney Roadrunners managed to make it on the TV as well. So it was, sort of worth it having 25, how many was it? 20 runners and then another 20 odd spectators. We managed to get our fair share of the TV time. And that moved us into the Monday morning. Just another lightish breakfast and into the car with John and Kate to take the long drive back home. And yes, as you can see, we're already on this bit. We've got plenty of footage of the drive back. And yeah, I guess I will take this opportunity to thank everyone for watching the video. This is going to be certainly my longest video ever. It's taken me way too long to edit this. I have been sort of not necessarily procrastinating, but not necessarily using my time efficiently the last few weekends of when I have time off to get this edited and get it out. I kind of wanted to get it done maybe 1 if not 2 weeks ago, but that's just the way things go. But it's sort of something new I'm going to try with a massive long video. I'm hoping the computer can just about take it all in one go, it being about an hour and 20, and however long that takes to upload, we will find out very soon. Obviously you won't. I will. It will already be obviously on the internet, hopefully. And yeah, it might be something for the future. With the big C coming up. Obviously, I won't say it just yet because it's not December. Hopefully, we will be looking into, perhaps investing in the channel a bit more, getting a bit more technology upgrades, and then I can not shout and scream at the computer every time something goes wrong with my editing app. But we will see soon enough. And then I'd also like to thank all the Whitney Roadrunners, just in general, because you're all great. But for this specific occasion, the ones that were there running and also the ones there supporting, you all had a fantastic. You all did fantastic. You were great. I love you all. You're great. And yeah, I think that'll just about do it for this little end ramble. If you did enjoy, please do like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. And until the next one, don't forget to trust the process. Bye.